Hey guys, welcome back to SRE Customs. It's about 1:30 in the morning, maybe 2, and I'm unable to sleep. So I thought I would do a video. A couple of guys have made requests on, asking me questions about what certain modifications do, when should I do them, can I port my own, and absolutely you can port your own. Now, the thing to remember is, excuse me, like I said, it's 2 in the morning. Um, you have to practice on maybe a junk cylinder, or if you don't have a junk cylinder, write down a plan. You got to get yourself you get a degree wheel, a degree wheel. This is mine from DDM. It's really too small. The larger the degree wheel, the more accurate it is. Okay? I generally use the one I have for automotive use, which is 4 feet in diameter. But I can't do these in the house on that. I have to go out in the shop and mount it in a vise. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about uh, porting, what it does, why do you port, so on and so forth. Um, a lot of guys have given these videos, and I thought that they jumped around. They wouldn't give their numbers. And, some of us guys don't have enough money to ruin 8 or 10 cylinders before we see the big improvements. Okay, so I'm going to take this Raminator cylinder first. Okay. Uh, there's two different porting versions that I've done. Um, okay, but we're gonna go with this one. This is the easiest. This is an aftermarket cylinder that you buy off Amazon, and it already comes with small versions of these extra transfer ports already cut into the cylinder, which is a huge gain over this being just cylinder, no added. And the theory behind porting is to move more air so that the engine can burn more fuel. And you also have to keep the air and the fuel in suspension. You don't want the fuel to fall out of the airstream. In other words, think of a light misty rain. That's how you want the fuel to be carried through the transfers up on top of the piston, because mist, fumes of fuel ignite way easier than what it shapes is like. I don't know if you've ever seen it or had the opportunity, but I have. Place I used to work, Burkhardt Automotive, had a flow bench, and I primarily I have done automotive race engines, but it will actually show, that if the corner is too abrupt, fuel has mass, so doesn't air. And if it's traveling 200 feet per minute and it rounds a 90-degree corner, well, the air might be able to turn that corner, but the fuel certainly isn't because of the mass. It just continues straight forward, hits a wall, becomes like a worm or a snake of raw fuel that then finds its way to where it needs to go. But the power gain is significantly less. Okay, so texture of the ports. You guys on YouTube, God bless you, who are polishing the transfer ports to a mirror-like finish, stop that. Yes, I know this guy, he don't know shit. Well, if you have the same engine and I have the same engine, and I poured it and you polish the shit out of those, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna beat you. In just a dyno meet. Please keep the fuel in suspension, which means shit, you can leave the transfer ports just as they are with a carbide cutter. As you can see on these are just left carbide cutter, no polishing, no nothing. Just now on the exhaust, yes, you can polish. Reason why? Not for flow. No. For carbon buildup. You don't want the port to close down due to carbon deposits. Okay. How do I know, you say, what port timings work? Okay, well, they're different for each engine, what the sweet spot is going to be. But I am going to give you a guideline that if you go by it, you're never going to hurt the performance. Okay? 1, do not open the exhaust port earlier than 100 degrees, past top dead center. If the engine comes earlier than 100 degrees, fine. But don't raise the port. Widen the port. You can get time versus area in that manner. You will be able to move more fuel. The problem with, now there's always a give and take. Like, let's take this Raminator engine. You'll see there's no bridge going across the port on the intake port, which means the wider you open this port, the more the ring, when it goes past that port, goes in that port and out of that port, and in that port and out of that port. And now you times that times 14,000 RPM, and yes, you will have ring wear. Number 2, a 2-ring piston. They're junk. Don't use them. If your engine comes with a 2-ring piston, just take the second ring off. Why do you need it? You're not looking to make an enduro engine that's twice the parasitic loss. In other words, twice the drag on the bore. And on the Roven, they lined the gaps up of the rings in the same position. So whatever the top ring leaks, the second ring leaks. So you've gained nothing by carrying a ring that makes your piston weigh more, which causes more drag on the cylinder wall. Please, lose it. Get it out of there. Top rings only. Okay. Now you guys have, of course, seen my modification to this CAG or deal that I'm doing on the Raminator.